What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly Combustible reaction. We're going to be jumping into the next one on our Netherlands journey. Amsterdam's air pollution battling for breath. Hey, this is going to be a fundraiser video for the Team C's project. We're jumping into a couple different areas just to kind of take a look at the environment as a whole. If one sort of pollution turns into another sort of pollution, turns into another sort of pollution. And eventually, we're just killing ourselves at the end of the day. Let's jump into it, though. Let's check this one out. Much love to you guys for being here. Let's go. We got the CC's on.
I was biking for 3 months to my work, but I got like really respiratory problems and it got really bad. I went to the doctor and the doctor said, well, it's logical because we have this air pollution problem in Amsterdam, and with your asthma, that's just really unhealthy for you and you should stop biking.
When you tell people that they have to stop doing things outside because the air pollution has reached a critical level, maybe it's time that you stop and start looking at some ways to reduce the air pollution. Just saying. We did it during COVID.
Around the world, we're facing a new threat to global health and quality of life, the air we breathe. Air pollution is estimated to kill around 7 million people per year, and 9 in 10 of us are breathing unhealthy air. But what are the effects of air pollution? What can you do as a citizen? And how can rules and regulation be used to help us breathe easy? Amsterdam, a city where just spending 1 day breathing its air is the equivalent of passively smoking over 6 cigarettes. So why is this city, considered to be one of Europe's cleanest and greenest, so toxic?
A very good question. I would say it's probably still a lot cleaner and greener than any American city, honestly. We have so much air pollution, so much just pollution in general, honestly. Like there are some places that it's just a hellhole. There are some places where you can't even see sometimes because of the air pollution being so thick. Same thing goes for a lot of other places too. I'm not just shouting out America. Bangkok, they're here in Thailand. They've had some serious days where they've been talking about all of the parts per million in the air, and it's a terrible thing that's happening all over the place. But honestly, we're doing it to ourselves. We got to start holding people accountable, holding ourselves accountable, holding our government officials accountable. To be able to just say you can't go outside anymore, it's not an option, people.
Mijn naam is Anne Knol. Ik werk als campagneleider duurzame mobiliteit en luchtvervuiling bij Milieudefensie. Milieudefensie is al jarenlang samen met allemaal bezorgde burgers in het land bezig om ons recht op gezonde lucht op te eisen. Hier in Nederland is de lucht nog steeds heel erg vervuild, ook al zie je dat niet als je zo naar buiten kijkt. En daar worden heel erg veel mensen ziek van. Het gaat echt om tienduizenden ernstig zieken per jaar, zelfs 16.000 doden ieder jaar door de vervuilde lucht.
Within the EU, there are standards for air quality.
However, these are both weak and non-enforceable.
Secondly, even though we do have these standards, they're not enforced by local and national governments, which means that together we're facing massive health and lifestyle problems across many cities in Europe. We're here specifically in Amsterdam to look at how this air pollution is affecting residents and what they're doing about it.
The question at a certain point becomes, do they care? The people up there, like, do they care that this is happening? And that's what really bothers me, is that a lot of times we don't know what the real kind of agenda behind things is. We don't know what people really are caring and non-caring about. A lot of times more people are just caring about the money than anything else.
And I live in Amsterdam now for almost 2 years. People mentioned it to me saying, oh, you are going to live in Amsterdam and I have asthma, that will be a problem. And I was just like, oh my God, people can be so negative. I was not aware of the bad air quality at all. I I'm checking the air quality on a day-to-day basis. These are my 3 apps. Yep. And it's actually quite bad at this moment. Yellow is unhealthy and orange is really unhealthy.
And what's blue?
Blue means healthy.
Yeah. So just one blue in all of Amsterdam.
Yeah, the whole of Holland.
The whole of Holland just has one blue dot. Two blue dots. No running in Holland. No. For me, when I think of Amsterdam, the Netherlands, I think of clean, green, everybody's biking.
That's how I've thought of it so far.
But yeah, it is a problem.
That is the consensus that we have of Holland. We see tulips and blue skies and green fields, but it's not true at all. We are just one of the most polluted countries of Europe.
Nou, dat valt heel erg tegen. Nederland doet eigenlijk heel weinig op het gebied van milieubescherming en doet al jaren veel te weinig om de luchtvervuiling aan te pakken. En nou, je ziet hier heel veel mensen op de fiets, maar heel veel van die mensen hebben ook een auto. En we hebben eigenlijk in Nederland ook nauwelijks plekken waar geen wegen zijn. We zijn een heel druk bevolkt, dicht bevolkt land. Dus overal zijn wel wegen, overal zijn industrieën en overal gaat vervuiling de lucht in. En overal zijn ook allerlei mensen die vervuiling weer inademen. Dus er is hier nog heel veel te doen.
So now you don't cycle to work every day?
No, I don't cycle to work every day. Luckily I do live right next to a train station. So that is a good alternative. But of course, biking, come on, who doesn't bike in Amsterdam?
And I know that there are going to be people out there that are like, oh, this video is so negative. But honestly, we need to stop and take a look at ourselves before we just start getting pissed off at people for stating facts. Like, if there's an air pollution problem, let's not say that there's not, and let's actually do something to fix it. I mean, it shouldn't really be that hard. The world is full of air. If our industries and things are killing the air, then maybe some of the industries and things should be cut back. Like, if you can't run a business without destroying the environment, you shouldn't really be able to run that business, in my mind.
I'm Maarten, I'm 39, I'm a father of Saar. She's almost 7 next week. And I live in the center of Amsterdam, pretty close to the Stadhuiskade, which is one of the most polluted streets in the Netherlands. Every day I cross the street with her and I need to use that street to get her to the school. We do bike like 2 or 3 times a week we go to school. I would have liked to do that more often, but you know, in rush hour it's not a good place to be, especially for young kids because they are so low to the ground. And you see that a lot of pollution stays low to the ground. So we have rules in place, regulation in place, and for many years already. So for me it's very hard to understand why nothing has been done until now.
Nou, is het goed dat er Europese richtlijnen voor zijn die zeggen, nou, er mag maar zoveel vervuiling in de lucht zitten. Die normen zijn nog best wel slap, maar zelfs die Europese normen, die haalt Nederland niet. En daarom hebben wij een rechtszaak gestart en we hebben gezegd, nou, je moet in ieder geval aan die Europese richtlijnen voldoen.
We are the top wealthiest countries and the wealthiest city. Why can't we just put more energy and effort in making everyone healthy and breathe healthy air?
Uiteindelijk is luchtvervuiling voor iedereen ongezond, maar je ziet wel dat er bepaalde groepen zijn die er meer last van hebben. Zo zijn bijvoorbeeld kleine kinderen en baby's, maar ook oudere mensen heel gevoelig voor luchtvervuiling. En je ziet bijvoorbeeld ook dat bepaalde bevolkingsgroepen er meer last van hebben. Zeker ook mensen die wat minder geld hebben, die wonen vaak in huizen die goedkoper zijn, maar die staan vaak langs hele drukke wegen waar het heel erg vervuilend is. Dus zij krijgen dan nog meer van die vervuilde lucht ingeademd. En dat vinden wij oneerlijk.
Citizens, residents and people who care about the air they breathe have come together and created movements.
I joined a group of luchtwachters, the air watchers. Well, we are around 300 people in the whole of the Netherlands. We are really trying to make everyone aware of the problem. We are also trying to get in touch with the city council and asking them why we are not complying to European legislation and what they are going to do to help us to get the air quality.
That's what I'm talking about. Hold those officials accountable. Hold each other accountable. Like, seriously.
Especially when you look at
the only way we fix this is by policing ourselves, and if that includes
a resident of one of the busiest and most polluted streets of Amsterdam. He decided to join the Air Watchers a few years ago.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you, and Katie.
Okay. This is a fine dust meter.
Okay, so this is measuring
The
air
fine
pollution.
dust.
So the fine dust.
Fine dust.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the particles that entering my apartment. And when you do this, you see a lot of fine dust.
Wow. So this contraption on your windowsill, you can then track fine dust here. Okay, wow. Ooh, this looks technical.
This is my meter.
So this big term, air pollution. What is air pollution made up of?
In our street it's NO2.
And that's directly linked to
the traffic.
To traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2/3 of the traffic that's going through this street is just passing by. They're going from north to south of Amsterdam and from south to north. If we could avoid all that passing by traffic, it's a normal level.
Paul introduced us to his neighbour, Manu, who is also an air watcher.
Since 4 or 5 years I'm an activist in my street, yes, together with Paul. Well, this here, look, this little tube there, that's how the whole thing started here in the street. Because we as citizens, we asked Milieudefensie for a station with these kind of tubes, and we had to change the tubes every month, send them to a laboratory, and that way we started to collect our first data.
And what are the tubes for?
The tubes are measuring the NO2, so that's the exhaust that comes from the cars. First of all, we found out there is like a maximum allowed by the EU, and we found out right away that in our streets, our measures were far above the norm.
Paul, so what does this sign say? What's this sign about?
Beware, unhealthy air. That's what it's saying. It's a warning sign for the people who are crossing the street, but there are also people who are living here. We put it up to make people more aware that it's not healthy air in the street.
Making people more aware is not going to do anything about it. Putting up signs is not going to do anything about it. We got to just get together and figure out a solution. There has to be a solution to the problem.
What
a sign doesn't solve anything.
This is what we get from the city council when we ask to reduce the traffic in the street. They're trying to reduce the fine dust and also the NO2 with this thing, but it's not scientifically proven.
They say that the cars belong to the city, so they postpone the whole time everything that we bring in as a solution. They shut it off because the car lobby is so strong, and then they come up with, you know, ideas or solutions or experiments like this one.
What is that thing supposed to do exactly? Like, legitimately, just looking at it, it just looks like a fine art fixture. Get out of here. I don't even, that's supposed to be that's supposed to be their solution to the air problem?
I mean, you see, we walked 2 minutes, and actually this is a little bit like how we envision our street in the future. You see there's lots of green, there's a tram, and for the rest bikers and pedestrians. So that's what we are fighting for, actually.
The damaging effects of air pollution are not only being felt in Amsterdam. Across Europe, many cities are putting their citizens at risk of life-threatening air pollution levels. We need both the enforcement of EU law from national governments and stronger regulations and initiatives from the EU. We need regulation that works for people and not big businesses, because it's the government's responsibility to protect citizens' health above all.
Tragic, tragic, tragic. If it's not the water, it's the air. If it's not the air, it's the damn food that we eat. If it's not the food we eat, it's our... Who knows? Everything out there that we're doing right now seems to be killing us in some way, shape, or form, unfortunately. We definitely, it sounds like there are some good people out there doing some good things. Raising awareness is important, but it also seems like there's some people out there that are ready to hold some people accountable for why we're not even at the minimum levels in some places. Why do some, I bet you there's some countries out there that don't even have a minimum level, which is even worse. There's some countries out there that probably don't even know how terrible their air is. Definitely an eye-opening video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. Definitely go show the original poster some love. Friends of the Earth Europe, show them some love. We're subscribed up. I hope you will too. check out one of these other videos up here. Subscribe right here if you want to see more content, possibly your content. Remember, from now until the end of the year, we're going to be doing random videos that are going to pop up as fundraisers for Team C's. That is Mr. Beast and Mark Rober teaming up with the Ocean Conservancy and the Ocean Cleanup. That's Mr. Boyan Slot from the Netherlands. Yeah, definitely go show them some love. All donations on this video, any money that's made on this video from ads or anything like that, all goes directly to Team C. So I appreciate you, even those of you who can't donate, for just taking the time to sit here and watch the video, because you just made it a little bit of money yourself. If you guys, until the next one, I'm highly combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. I love you to the moon and back. Peace.